split willow because that's what the original in the Elgin Museum is made of. That means getting 9, 10-foot long willow rods, splitting them in half, and then soaking them enough to make them supple. And the problem we had was getting big enough and long enough willow that would be supple when it was mellowed. And this is Bowles hybrid, and it was all split. It's been soaking and wrapped in wet cloths for several days, but we did undoubtedly have quite a bit of a problem with the brittle nature of the material. It goes like that, and then it strips off just to the bark. And we did have some breakages and some problems, but it's worked pretty well, and we worked it out pretty well to the last rod, what we cut to use. The stakes and the weaving are all done with split willow, with the bark on the outside, which will be covered by the hair, and the split side on the in.
Right. The tools for any kind of basket making are really very simple. You need a good sharp knife, and this is a very sharp, good steeled blade. We use modern secateurs, but originally people would have just used knives. This is a wrapping iron, which is a basket making tool, so I don't know if it would have been originally used for coracles, but it's for wrapping down the weaving so it's fairly close together. It's got a fine side and a heavier side. A bodkin for making holes in the weaving so that you can put in extra weavers, or sometimes used to put in the weaving and then hammer down on it to close the weaving up. And this is sailmaker's fid, but it's very useful for threading. And particularly useful, we used it for the horsehair around the edge where the gunnel was being threaded onto the coracle itself.
You should think start with tips, wouldn't you? You heard me saying yuck. Yuck. I know why we had the even number last time, don't you? Because we did the underfoot skirt. Yeah, okay. Bend it that way and then tuck the other one down? Yes, do that that way. I've got films.
Of about 10.
Have you got one, and I can give you another one tomorrow?
Yes, sure.
Thanks.
We did 2, and then we split.
Right.
And it's not what I would call a tight slap.
No, it isn't. It's comforting.
Yes. To pour away over.
It's the weavers here,
Yeah,
I think,
the
that
weavers.
can do with it most.
Where? The
Right down
Yes.
the lines of those
Okay.
are the most critical.
Okay.
Instant finger warm weaving.
And we get quite a few in there at a time,
Yes.
and it might help. There's no way. If we get this started,
Yes, the rest doesn't.
Shock a
it's
blanket.
much easier.
we'll have opened up. Do you think there's going to be too big? I think there's gaps are too big there. Well, yes, I'm going to do them, then take them and do them to mesh. If you like to grab some more really thick ones, bring them along, and then we'll... Right? Yes. Okay, so what we want, Peter, is quite a lot about about that length. See you, Mary.
Well, I'm okay at the moment.
I'll bring it down. It's a bit tatty. Right for okay, that'll give it a chance to seed a bit. Now, what about that? It's all right. Something that every time I say it.
As you can hear, the weather conditions could be a lot better.
We may have to stop and do some more kinking. If I put my... It's a much more vertical turn up. I'm sure it is now. I think it's only probably about 12 or 13 at the most. Now what we need now is for Henry to get bits of binder twine and tie it on the 4 points of the compass so we can let go of this perishing gummel. How deep are we? Can you measure us, please, Peter?
Yeah, 40.
I'm going to trim off one. I think numbers that we had were I mean, it's not a matter of 10 centimetres shade. Yes, that's true. We did need that. Well, we couldn't decide how to work because the gunnel's got to go inside. But if we set it on each of them off.
If you go walking around on it and land, but then you wouldn't.
I think it's enough, but very much more promising.
This couple there.
Oh yes, no, it's not bad.
It's horsehair that you're using, is
It's
it?
horsehair rope, yes. The problem is getting caught up with these bits which are sort of protruding out of from the willow, the end of the willow.
Why particularly horsehair?
It was what they used at the time. I suppose it was sort of the usual thing. It was the easiest thing for them to have at hand, which is what most coracles tended to have. It's interesting that on the Teivi, with the coracles there, which are used for net fishing, and the Towie, which are rivers which are very close to each other, one of them used horsehair and the other one used to use cow hair. But one of the things, the advantage of a horsehair rope, it stands up to wet very well. So it's a sort of traditional material, but the big problem is that nowadays it's impossible to get it commercially. Even the famous rope makers like Outhwaite's in the Yorkshire Dales no longer make it. And this one is made by Peter Faulkner, who makes hide coracles in Lentredine.
Oh, well, we're going to tidy it up on the little bit on the inside. We're not going to cut anything too short in case it expands a bit, but we can't leave all these ends hanging around because things will catch in them and then they'll break off. So something like that, which crosses two stakes, take it off somewhere in the middle of the two stakes so that it doesn't go quite so far, but still has room for any expansion. Would you say that was right, Mary?
Yes, I think so.
If you leave too many ends out, you catch them with your feet when you're in it. And then the sticks, we've got to take the tops of the sticks off a bit, but we want to be a bit careful about how short. Have a little look, Mary, and see what you think. Do you think if we were to lay the shears on top like that,
Just cut them dead
and
straight.
just cut them dead straight?
Yes,
Big break out. Yeah. Right. Now, can you see any awful
Yes.
It's like lace, isn't it?
Yes.
Right, now right up and over. Shall we turn it
Yeah.
this way so that he gets the bottom?
Yeah. Do you want to get rid of that first?
Yes, we do want to
Yes.
get rid of that.
There we are.
Definitely we do.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a long time ago.
Okay. Now should we just tidy up its little bottom end and things? You think?
Shall I have it if
No,
you
no.
want to do that? Yes, it's probably a good idea just to remember how this all started. It really started as a result of a lunch after the last Lord Mayor's show, when we had making features in it as possible. So we gave it a lot more thought, because although there is a reference to coracles on the Thames, no one has any idea what they look like, but there is clear evidence that a